specifically for the flow hive. But anyways, you don't want to open up your hive if it's below 55 degrees, but we've got a nice 72-degree day here in November. I think it's November 7th today. So we're going to do this, and this will be the last time we open it until springtime. So we always put a little bit of smoke in the entrance, and you can tell I've already got my entrance reducer on, and that allows them to protect their hive more efficiently in cold temperatures. And we're going to open it up on the top. And you can see here that I have added, this is R13 insulation, and I put that between the top board and my roof. I just picked that up at Lowe's. If you have extra laying around, you can just use that. And I don't have my honey super on. I pulled that off. And because of that, I don't have a queen excluder on, because there's nothing to exclude the queen from. Alyssa, give me that smoker there. I want to make sure that the queen is not on this top board, because again, there's no queen excluder, so she could be up here. I want to make sure that you don't accidentally crush her or leave her behind. So you always give this a quick shake right over your boards. Okay, we're going to set this aside for a second. Now this is a Varroa mite treatment. Right here, these little strips. I put that in about 30 days ago. But I'm going to take that out because you're only supposed to leave it in for about 30 days. And I do that twice a year. I treat for Varroa mites. It's a little mite that clings onto your bees, and you'll want to make sure to keep a good handle on that, because they can really take out your hive. Okay. Now all I'm going to do is fill up my feeder. So I'll get this out. Let's say you can get a closer shot here, just to show people what this looks like. This right here acts as a frame that you slip in there, and that's pretty completely empty. So I filled this up about a month ago whenever I started treating for Varroa mites, which I do that prophylactically. I didn't see any signs of Varroa mites, but I do it anyways, just to stay on top of it. So what I want to do here is I want to fill this feeder up with some sugar water that I've made. some bee food. I'm gonna put that back in there so they have some food over winter time, because obviously there's not much for them to eat except for what they've stored. I also put a vitamin supplement in my sugar water. It's called Honey Bee Healthy, and you can buy it off of Amazon or at your local bee supplier. I like to do that too. You take a shot in here, there's those little nets that the bees can climb on so they don't drown. So anyways, now that that's filled up, I'm gonna stick that right back in there. These dogs are playing. Cool. So very successful operation there. We're gonna give them a little bit more smoke. And again, the reason why you don't want to open up your hive when it's really cold temperature is because those bees are using kinetic energy. They fan their wings to create heat. When it's really cold outside, all of them get together, they'll ball up like a big softball, and they'll stay together. They'll use their body heat and start fanning their wings to maintain the temperature of this hive. Another reason why I took off my super is because the more room that they have, the more difficult it is for them to regulate the temperature of their hive. But obviously, the smaller the hive is, the more likely they'll make it through the winter time. So let's switch gears here and talk a little bit about winterizing your hive. With the flow hive, they make it very easy for you. There's a ventilation board here. If you want more ventilation in your hive, you flip the vents up. That way ventilation can make it above your clean out board here. But because I want air to shoot below that clean out board during the winter time, I put this here. I also strapped a board. This is the north side of my hive, so the coldest wind is going to be blowing from the north. And I put this board here just as a windbreak. And that way, any wind coming this way, it at least has some windbreak from those harsh north winds. But most importantly, I would say during the winter is you want to have your entrance reducer, which I don't know if you got a good shot of that over here. You can tell the entrance of their hive now is only 1 inch wide. And if you've seen any of our other videos during the spring or summertime, that entrance actually expands all the way from side to side here. That's a guard bee right here, staying out there guarding the entrance, making sure that yellow jackets and beetles and other kind of things don't get inside that hive. So as you can see, I've got my insulation here, just an extra layer of insulation to keep those bees warm so they don't have to work so hard. Again, the easier you make it for the bees, the more likely they're able to become a successful colony. Next year, we're very excited because technically you're not supposed to be able to harvest honey in your first year. We actually harvested honey twice. We had a great year, and I think it's because of the research that we did to ensure that these bees would be healthy Obviously they have a lot of forage around here as well where we live, lots of clover. This whole field actually is clover behind me, and the bees love that. But that's the difference between having bees and being a beekeeper. You know, you'll read that, you'll hear it in podcasts, you'll read it in books and things like that. A lot of people come under criticism because they purchase bees and they just kind of set them out and they never really check the hive, they never inspect it, and they really don't know what's going on inside the hive. And that's what separates bee havers from beekeepers. Kind of a nerdy thing, but anyways, we thoroughly enjoyed having bees this year, wouldn't you say, Alyssa?
Yeah.
And it's been fun, you know, mailing some honey to family members and having people come out. It's kind of a fun little thing to do. Hope you enjoyed it, and for the rest of the year, you'll probably see more posts about hunting and maybe chickens too. We'll see. But we'll see y'all in the spring for the bees.